good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Janice Parks. I'm broadcasting out of the Daughters of Zion Women of Destiny page. Hope you're having a great day. And I thought I'd pop out just for a few minutes. I am in the process of taking care of some potting. I've got to do some pansy potting. So the light is not that good. It's a little overcast. It was sunny earlier. However, I titled this live feed "Balance and Taking Care of Your Own uh, Home Business," and so I wanted to pop out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? So the title of this live um, feed is "Balance and Taking Care of Your Own Home Business." So hope you guys are doing well. Um, you have to when you're speaking about so many different things, kind of you have to take your own advice. You have to live it yourself. So I'm taking some time out this morning out of my schedule to do some catching up. Spring has sprung, so I have to get some things together early because as we move further into the season, I'm going to be very busy. And I know you are too. And I apologize for the lighting, but I'm outside and there's nothing I can do about it. So, although I do have lights on the front, I could turn the light on, but I don't know how that would work. But anyway, I wanted to talk about balance and taking care of your home on your own home business. And what I mean by that, although I do work out of my home, I wanted to talk to some of the married women. And it doesn't matter how long you've been married, but those of us who are in ministry and have their own businesses and do travel and write books and do this and do that, sometimes we can get a little bit out of balance. Oh, the sun's coming back out, yay! So, and like I said, I do apologize. I'm all up in your face this morning. So anyway, we have to be balanced, and we have to really have wisdom. I had to learn this the hard way, so I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through learning this. Okay, so that's why I'm out here, is trying to just give a little wisdom to folks who may be early in their marriage, or maybe late in your marriage and just haven't quite got the revelation yet. So, um, balance. As I said, a lot of us are in ministry. We have our own businesses. We're out in the marketplace. We travel. We do this. We do that. However, sometimes we get out of balance, and we got to reel ourselves back into alignment. We need to be able to be mature enough to do it ourselves, and not wait for somebody else to have to tell us. But sometimes that happens, and then we that are trying to be obedient to God, sometimes He has to tap us on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, but you running around here doing everybody else's stuff, Mr. So and so, Mrs. So and so, going to their house, going to their convention, going to their conference, going to this, that, and the other, and you have not taken care of your own home." Now, that doesn't always have to mean that you're cooking and cleaning, although that's part of it. However, I'm just going to use me as an example. Um, be very kind of transparent this morning. I worked medicine for 35 years. I started out young and had a very hectic schedule. I mean, I carried a beeper. And any of you have done that, then you know that your life is not your own. And for me, I had to learn balance and how to have a reasonably organized home life, if you will. Now, that didn't always work out. I'm going to be honest. And I didn't always do such a great job. However, I was kind of a perfectionist, if you will. I always like to have things this. It didn't always work out, but I always try to have this, and this in line and to have this done, especially when I knew I was going to be away for extended periods of time. So I've learned over the years how to manage that better, though, because that way you don't wear yourself out, okay, and you don't get extremely frustrated when things don't quite fall into line like you think they should. So, uh, getting back to when I worked outside of the home, carried a beeper, I'd have to be at the hospital within 30 minutes because I worked in a very strict, and you had to be very diligent about how you managed your time and how you managed your home life, because if that was out of whack, and the type of schedule that I carried, I might work 10 hours, and then if I have the beeper, I'd have to go back and work another 5 or 6 hours. And in a weekend, I remember one weekend when I lived in Ohio, uh, I wasn't home an hour the whole weekend. We worked that whole weekend. I mean, from Friday night to Sunday morning. Now, we came home for maybe an hour or two, and then we got called right back. Okay? So that's the kind of life I kind of had periodically over the 35 years of medicine that I did work in. Thank God I don't do that anymore. But it was a learning field. How many of you know that you'll be put in a situation where you learn certain things? You may not be at the most perfected part of it, but you learn it in order to be able to balance yourself out and retain some of those principles that you learned while you were in that particular situation. So I'm out here talking about balance and taking care of your own home business. Now, I never could leave home without making sure that groceries were brought in, the house was clean, clothes were cleaned, and other things were done. I've always had to be the one, for a lot of different reasons, that managed a lot of the things getting done in my home. For instance, even now, although I've learned how to streamline things, and I've kind of got things down to kind of a science. But however, and things have gotten a little easier for me, just for a lot of various reasons. But when I was younger, I was learning. So, when you're younger, you don't know what you don't know. Um, and so, as one of my mentors would say, Dr. Patricia Bailey, you just don't know what you don't know. And you need somebody to help you. And by the way, I'm putting a plug in for FTI, Financial Transformational Institute. It is a program that you can enroll yourself in to get help with your financial destiny. It's going to help you with your financial integrity. It's going to help you to streamline some things that you need to streamline, even if you're, and maybe some of the things you already know and some of the things you've already accomplished and championed, but we always can do better. And that's Financial Transformational Institute. And you can go out online. It has a website, FTI. Dr. Patricia Bailey is facilitating this wonderful institute, and there are lots of people in it. You need to go out and join the group as well, okay? So that's my little plug for that. So anyway, over the years, I had to just kind of perfect what I did because my husband, he didn't transition to where we live now for a number of years after my son and I came, because he was still working his job, and he had several years in, and he wanted to finish out that 40 years and get what was his. So we decided to send me and my son on to spy out the land and dominate and take dominion, and establish some roots. So that's what happened, and that was something that was, the way we had to handle that. For you, it might be a little bit different, Everybody's situation is different. I'm talking about balance and taking care of your own home business. So I had to learn how. Now, mind you, I've had at the most maybe 4 properties that I had to manage to help manage my mom's property in Tennessee. And then we had property in Ohio and property in North Carolina, and then one other property as well that kind of took care of itself. But nevertheless had to oversee. So, so I had to learn how to balance myself out. And when I say I had to manage, and even though my husband was still in the home that we actually owned in Ohio, a lot of his time was caught up with working and doing other things that he had to do to get himself ready to transition. So I was managing properties from afar, and a lot of people do that. It's not, it's not like I cornered the market on that, but I'm just telling you what my testimony is, what my experience is, and trying to help those that might want to understand how you need to balance yourself out in those particular situations. And it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. However, I myself had to learn how to say no to certain things. Everything that comes to you, you don't have to say yes. You don't even have to say maybe. You already know what you have on your agenda and what's been allocated to you and how God has appropriated and given you instruction and an assignment to get certain things done. And I had a young son in high school, freshman. So, okay. So, and then new to the state that we were in and new to the property as well. So I had to maintain the property, make sure the property was maintained properly, make sure the trees got cut when they needed to be cut, make sure carpet got cleaned when it needed to be cleaned, make sure certain bills were paid, all of those things. Now, trust me, it's always a learning curve. But I thank God for grace and mercy, because some of the stupid things that I did in the beginning and some of the stupid things that I've done recently, His grace and mercy has kept me and shown me and put people in my life to say, you know what, I think you need to do this a little bit better, And when you get older, you're supposed to get more mature and you're supposed to be able to hear better. So I thank God for that. So, balance, taking care of your own business. I also learned that you can't be in church 24/7 and you haven't cooked dinner, you haven't made sure your husband was taken care of, your children taken care of, whatever needed to be taken care of at home. You can't go out and minister to the masses and then leave your home undone. You're going to come home to an empty house, no husband, no nothing. Okay? So we have to use wisdom. So I had to learn that, of course. And thank God I've been married for 38 years. He hasn't left me. And I declare and decree that will not happen, because I'm going to be in line with what I'm supposed to do according to the Word of God. And I'm going to use wisdom. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, young, old, in between, whatever, we're not silly women. We're not women that can be drawn here and drawn there and stretched here of any kind of doctrine, any kind of thought pattern. Those of us that believe the Word of God, we stand on that. And you got common sense. I don't know about you, but I got common sense, okay? And I have the wisdom of God. So, I'm not going to listen to. You understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about being balanced today and minding your own home business, not running here and there and doing all this for everybody else and not have your own stuff together. I'm a living witness. Am I totally there? By no means. Trust me. But I thank God that from the time I started till now is not what it used to be. And I've learned how to curtail and critique and, I don't want to say take shortcuts, but I know how to work smarter than I did, 30 years ago. Let me put it like that. So I'm going to wrap this up because I got some stuff I got to get to. And I'm going to get to it. And then I've got some other stuff I need to do because I'm in school. And so I've got homework and I've got some other business to prepare for tomorrow. Working on a little deal. So anyway, listen, be balanced and take care of your own home before you try to go out and take care of somebody else's. Take care of what's going on in your own household, and just kind of, get still, by yourself and kind of listen for what God is telling you about what you need to do. And it's okay. It's okay. We're all in a learning cycle at whatever level learning cycle that you're in. Whether you're here or here or here, we're all, we are all somewhere in that learning cycle. Okay? Hey, I'm forever learning. I don't never want to stop learning. But this one thing I do want to do. I want to be able to get the revelation. When the impartation comes, I want to get the revelation. When I get the understanding of the revelation, I want to be able to also implement it and then see the manifestation of it. I don't just want to be and don't see no evidence. All right? So look, be balanced. Take care of your own home business. And listen to what you need to listen to get there. Seek after people who's already done it, And hey, get signed up for FTI, Financial Transformation Institute. Google it, go out online, go out on Facebook. Dr. Patricia Bailey is facilitating. She's bringing a lot of different high-level instructors in, to expose us to some things that maybe you have never been exposed to. So this is Janice Parks. Just wanted to come out and talk about balance. And I have understood over time what that means and how important that is. And listen, have a great day. It's been great. And I'm going to get busy so I can go back in and finish whatever else I got to do. All right? Stay balanced. Take care of your own home business. Talk to you later.